Hey guys, welcome back to the New England Scrapper. Alright, so this fine evening, I've got a video for you guys. Again, this is another one that is definitely more suited to the brand new scrapper rather than the the seasoned e-waste recycler like Shark Scrapper, E-Waste Ben, myself, or possibly some of you guys. So, this is one that, believe it or not, it's taken me this long to get to making. This is how to scrap out a PC. So, again, probably one of the simplest things I could have done, but yet it took me this long to get one that was good enough for me to make a video on it. Now, normally, there would be two decent-sized thumb screws, they call them. That would be on this side of the case. You'd unscrew them like that, and then you could pull this side panel off. That's how, if you can see that, be right in there. That's how most PCs come apart. However, this one's different. It's got a clever little pulley lever here. Hopefully you guys were able to see that. By pulling that, I can pull the side panel right off of this. So, there we go. Let's get right into this thing. So, make sure, yep, you're going to be able to see most of the main components. So, main components that you have here, you have your RAM that are down here, probably shielded by the power supply unit, which is this thing here. You've got CD-ROM drives, a floppy drive, which I believe that's a floppy. If it isn't, floppy drives, don't take them out, they're really not worth it. You have a motherboard down in here, you have your PCI cards, and you have your hard drive. So I guess the first thing we're going to take out, just to get it out, remove some weight from the case, is your hard drive. There's a couple different ways that you can put these in here. This one here is a really small one, so I'm not going to save it for myself. It's a Seagate. So you just kind of have to pop it out of the, sometimes they're screwed into these things, but this one here you only have to pop it out. So hopefully you guys can see that right there. Now, it does have a board on the back. This is one of the low-grade hard drive boards. If your buyer does the low-high grade thing, Board Sort does just a regular SATA drive. A lot of hard drives you can just sell as is. That may be the way to go for you, but you need to decide for yourself. So let's move that. I'm not going to throw that just in case. All right, so just have the plastic there. So that's just plastic recycling. I know this isn't my normal spot to scrap stuff, but I wanted something where you guys could see what I was doing. So the next thing I'm going to do is take my drill and get the power supply out. Oh, come on. Oh, I had the drill the wrong way around. That's always fun. Apologies if you guys, whoops, can't necessarily see what I'm doing. This is really awkward and not the best place to scrap stuff out here. This is more my depopulation station than my scrapping station. So you should be able to pop the power supply up and out, or maybe not. So we've got some nice ribbon wire here. So this stuff here, this is a type of ribbon wire. A lot of places will buy this as a low-grade wire, number 3 copper insulated, or computer wire, which is what my scrapyard buys it as. Now, something you can do if you want, you may have to for your scrapyard, I don't know, you have to ask them. But these, I believe are they IDE? I think they might be. But these plugs here, if you pop them off, there's some gold-plated tip pins in there, and that may be worth it for you. So you need to figure that out for yourself. So if you guys can see that. So I know E-Waste Ben does to sell to Manhari there in Australia. My scrapyard's really great. They don't really complain about things like that, so they're pretty chill with a lot of stuff just staying. So this is a really strange power supply here. I haven't seen this before. It's actually got two two separate places where the cords come out of. Most of the time, it's just one big one somewhere. This one's got the main one here for the big board connector, and then all the other smaller ones come off of a different side. So I think that's kind of cool. It's not something I've really seen. I don't think I've ever seen that before, come to think of it. So that's really cool. Alright, next thing we want to get out here is the RAM. So some of these are going to be a lot easier than others. This push the end type, I don't know what you call it. Might be the DIM or something, I don't know. There's some technical name for it, but I don't know it. So these are your RAM sticks. Currently, these are going for about $22 a pound, I believe. 22, 23 on board sort. So this is the kind of thing that you do want to make sure you're getting a good deal on. These are 1 gigabyte DDR2. Yeah, so this probably isn't resellable. I think at this point all DDR2 is pretty much scrap. So you want to make sure you're selling this stuff to the right person, because it's worth a lot of money to the right people. So you want to make sure you're not getting, like, I don't know, $8 a pound for gold-fingered RAM. If they're giving you that, they're ripping you off, I guarantee. So let's get the CPU cooler out. This one's a bit of a different one. Having this big plastic housing here. I'm assuming this is more common on pre-builts. Oh, come on. Having a hard time seeing down into there to actually get it open. Oh, here's what I'm going to do. There we go. Alright. We've got the cooler out. Let me just make sure that's still in the shot for you guys so you can actually see what I'm doing. Alright, cool. So, this is a bit of a different cooler. There's a couple different cooler styles. So, this one here, again, 2 screws that have to come out. There we go. Some are going to be all aluminum, some are going to be copper aluminum, some are going to be all copper. Very rare, but they exist. So, more plastic recycling. So this one here is going to go as copper aluminum radiator, and this one here is actually really heavy. You could try to pop the copper out and get a number 1 copper or number 2, depending on how picky your scrapyard is on this thermal paste here. So that's actually a really heavy, nice one. So these will add up pretty quickly. So if you start doing a lot of PCs, that could be one of the parts of the PC that'll make you money. So again, let's get the power supply out of the way here. See if we can undo any more of these plugs and just get this thing out of here. That would be the best way to go if I can just get the. There we go. All right. So what you can do with these, the power supply here, you can either sell them whole with the harness, which if you're going to sell them whole, that's the way I would do it. You can sell them whole without the harness, or you can scrap them out. I have a video on scrapping out power supplies. I'll probably try to link that video in the description if you guys really want to watch it. Basically, there's going to be a low-grade board in here, and that's about it. So if you find it's worth your time, go ahead. Maybe one of those winter work things where you just cut the cords here and here, get your money now, then stock these and do them when you have time. So that's another way to do those. So I'm not going to scrap that one out here. I'm going to save that one. Whoops. Almost knocked the lamp over. Alright. More ribbon wire. And we've got some SATA stuff here, so you can cut the plugs off these. These are also going to be gold. These are going to be gold connector ends. Board sort's paying, I believe, about $1 a pound right now, 2022. So, and then the wire should just go as a just a regular number 2 new insulated or shop wire in my case. Alright, so the next thing you're going to have here is your CPU. These can vary. This one here is a nothing special. This is an Intel Pentium something. It's just a regular no-pin CPU. If you look, it's got the gold pads instead of the gold pins. A lot of the new Intel ones, are this. These are probably these are the lowest value CPUs you're gonna get. However, on older computers, you have the opportunity to get something a little bit better. You have the opportunity to get ceramic CPUs on some of the real old computers. This right here is an Intel i486SX. This is currently going for about, I believe, $180 a pound on board sort. While these copper top no pins are going for about, I think it's $3 to $5, somewhere in that range. So you can really score on the CPUs. The good thing about these is they do have some weight to them, but I mean this one here is actually really light and probably not worth all that much, so that one kind of sucks. Oh, I made that. So there's different grades to CPUs. At some point I'm going to do like a basic CPU grading video. So we'll see where that goes. Clean up a quick little mess I've made here. Alrighty, so next thing we're going to get out is your slot cards, or your PCI cards. So this one here, most of the time these are going to be screwed in to this end. On this one, they're not. It was covered by this weird thing. I've never seen this before. It just kind of went down over the top and held them in. That's not normal. Normally you're going to have to unscrew these, but I guess this one just wanted to be easy for the video. So you're going to get all sorts of different sizes of these things. They come in all different shapes and sizes. But they're just a regular PCIe slot card. You have a couple options with this. You can sell these as is with the bracket. That's how most people sell them. But BoardSort.com does offer a category where if you remove this bracket, you get a little bit more money. I haven't tested whether it's worth it, as I don't ship those to BoardSort. It's not worth it for me. I only ship them the really, really high value stuff. I take things like slot cards, like this. I believe this is a sound card. Yeah, I believe this is a sound card. Yeah, I don't ship them that stuff. I ship them the very high value stuff. So next thing we're going to get out is another piece of value. Again, on this board, not very high, but this is the motherboard. I'll go over that in a minute. Alright, well, now you guys get to watch me have problems removing this thing. This is going to be fun. Motherboards can occasionally be a real pain to get out. Not always, but sometimes they're screwed in just right to where it's a real pain in the butt to get out. Unfortunately, this looks like one of those cases. So I'm gonna have to get a regular hand screwdriver to do it. Now, motherboards are another one of those things where it's not usually cut and dry. Some buyers will allow you to just throw them all into one. Oh, come on. Into one bucket and let you sell it that way. However, you're probably not going to make the most money that way. It takes 2 seconds to sort and separate, and as long as you have the space, it's worth grading them. Because you could be getting, $3 a pound versus $5 a pound for them, depending on the slot and occasionally the color. I know board sort goes off the color. So, there's more screws. Hold on. So I'm assuming this was a pre-built and not a custom build. It doesn't look like it was a custom build. Alrighty. So, we've got our, you know what, I'm just going to cut this one. Big deal. Sometimes buyers will complain if you do that kind of thing, if you leave these connectors on, so you should take them off. So, this right here is a small socket green motherboard, or a small metal socket green motherboard, or a metal socket green motherboard. And, you know, the way you know is if it's got this, this metal socket, rather than like a, you know, just a plastic all around. I don't have an example on me, but if I did, I would show you guys. So, one thing you do want to do with motherboards here is you want to remove these batteries. There's a couple different ways to take them out, but I always remove them. Most buyers will want you to. If they find out that you left them, there might be problems, and there's a chance they might even downgrade you, because they're going to have to go through and take out all those batteries themselves. So not only are they going to be losing weight depending on how much you brought them, they're also going to be losing time, because now they have to go and take those out themselves. So usually around the case, again, depending on whether it was a gamer, whatever it was, there's going to be fans, because you know you need fans to provide airflow and cooling to your system. So there's a couple different ways to handle them. This one here is a really big one, but usually you're going to have smaller ones up and down the case somewhere. You may even get them in the CPU cooler. If that's the case, what I would do is just cut them out and just break off those, and you have a low-grade copper bearing motor, or just a copper motor, however your scrapyard buys them, and I missed my bucket. So, one more thing for the older PCs. That should be it for the newer ones. For the older ones, you have CD-ROM drives, or a CD-ROM drive. Wait a minute. This one looks like it's got another one of those cool systems to remove them. Occasionally there's some real easy ways to get these out, and I think I just found it for this one. So I have a video on scrapping CD-ROM drives, but I'm going to do one of them here for you guys now. So it's pretty simple. Well, I would if I had the right drill bit, but I don't. Anyways, there's a CD-ROM board inside of there. They're worth taking out. They take 2 seconds to grab. So if you can, I would recommend grabbing them. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for a normal PC. Once you really get in a groove, and especially if you have, you know, the same kind of PC, like if I had 20 of these, I could, you know, do it in less and less time each PC. So that's the way to do it. If you can get the same kind, build them up and do them all at once. I mean, pretty much every PC is different, model by model, so it's so different. So it takes, you know, a different amount of time to do each one. What you're going to get out of each one's going to be different. You know, the order that you take things out is going to be different. It just depends. So, again, they're pretty high value compared to a lot of the other e-waste that I personally get. So, you know, I always look forward to PCs, and I think you should too. They're worth it. I would take them apart. Don't just put them in scrap steel or sell them whole. Scrap them out. It'll be worth your time, guys. So, but again, you do need to make that decision for yourself. Now that I think about it, I should say that. If you really don't have time to do it, don't worry about it. Maybe even pass them on to someone else who, you know, who does want to do something with them. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate your viewership, and I hope you guys learned something. So if you did, you know, leave a like, leave a comment if you guys have any questions. I'd be happy to answer them for you. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye for now, guys.